Welcome. Tubing is a popular sport among towed water sport participants, particularly for those participating in water sports for the first time.
There is a tremendous assortment of different devices that can be towed behind a boat intended for one or more passengers.
Yet, accident statistics from the U.S. Coast Guard show tubing is the towed water sports activity with the most injuries in recent years. Therefore, it is important for riders and boat operators to understand the risks involved in tubing to help avoid a major accident. Throughout this tutorial, we are going to refer to all towing vessels, boats, and personal watercraft as boats. The improper use of tubes can cause injury or death. Please pay attention to this tutorial.
The safety of a tube's riders is primarily the responsibility of the driver. Always use common sense and good judgment. Alcohol, drugs, and water sports do not mix. An impaired rider or driver is far more likely to make poor judgments regarding speed and distance. It is your responsibility to familiarize yourself with and fully understand and follow the warning labels found on the inflatable, as well as the manufacturer's instructions on usage.
All towed participants must wear a properly fitted life jacket approved by your country's governing agency. Worn or ripped life jackets should be discarded and replaced.
Make sure the tube is inflated according to the manufacturer recommendations so that it is firm while riding. Be aware that a tube's inflation level can change due to the heat of the sun or the temperature of the water. It is also your responsibility to understand the state and local laws regarding towboats and towables.
It is important to use an inflatable-specific tow rope that is rated with the appropriate strength for the number of passengers that are being towed. The number of riders should not exceed the manufacturer's recommendations. Using an improper tow rope can result in serious injury. Never use a tow rope that has knots, and never use a rope that is frayed or sun-damaged. The tow rope, connection point, and inflatable should be inspected before each use. The tow rope should always be affixed to the boat using an approved attachment point. If an inflatable were to separate from the boat during a turn, the passengers of the inflatable would be sent on an uncontrolled path, possibly into a fixed object or another boat. Follow the instructions in the boat owner's manual and the owner's manual for the tower if equipped.
It is a good practice for the driver to have a rear view mirror and a spotter on the boat who is watching the participants on the inflatable. Pre-established hand signals with the driver, spotter, and riders are vital.
Rope entanglement is very serious. Prior to throttling up, be sure that the slack is out of the rope and clear of obstructions. The riders and inflatable are clear of rope tangles, and the riders clearly express "hit it" before applying the throttle. Read the manufacturer's recommendation before attaching an inflatable to a boat's tower.
Inflatables are not steerable by the passengers riding them. For this reason, it is critical that the driver of the towboat and the spotter be aware of the inflatable's trajectory at all times. An inflatable travels on a different arc and at a greater speed than the towboat during a turn. This is known as whipping the inflatable. While towing an inflatable at 20 miles an hour, the inflatable can reach speeds of up to 55 miles an hour during a whip. Contact with the shore or a fixed object such as a piling, dock, or another boat can cause severe injury or death. The driver should never exceed 20 miles per hour while towing an inflatable. An inflatable should never get any closer than twice the rope length to the shore, fixed objects, or other vessels, and should always stay on the water, not in the air.
Inflatables are sold as single or multi-person tubes. On multi-person inflatables, many injuries come from elbows, knees, and heads colliding with other passengers. Riders, avoid horseplay or moving around on the inflatable while it is in motion. Driver, avoid intentionally pulling the inflatables and its riders over large waves. Making an inflatable go airborne looks fun, but it is extremely dangerous for the riders. Do not tow multiple inflatables behind a boat, and do not tow a tuber and a water skier, wakeboarder, kneeboarder, or other type of towed participant at the same time.
Drivers, remember that a rider's life is in your hands. All it takes is one split second of poor judgment to seriously injure or kill your friend or family member. Use safe boating and water sport practices and never exceed 20 miles an hour so that all boaters can have fun and a safe day on the water.
Have fun.